figured now is as good as time as any to try to test my patience, start of a new year, and we'll see if we can pick up some sourdough. Cam's mom got us the starter kit that had like the jar. It had like just the basic tools, and I can show you that another day. But I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to start a starter. I was watching some videos on TikTok, and I will link the one that I thought would be like the most doable for me. I'm not one, like I usually am very the type of person that needs to have exact measurements and all of that, but I don't always follow through. I've killed many a plant, and I don't want to kill my starter. So we're gonna attempt this and we'll see how it goes. I will document as much as possible. And yeah, here we go. So we're gonna start off with a few spoonfuls of, the way that this girl in the video taught about it was taught it is to basically do it so that you can eyeball it, not do so rigid in your measurements. So she said to get a few spoonfuls of flour. So that seems good. And then a little bit of water. So we'll start with a little bit and stir it up. I think this is too dry. So this seems a little too dry. So probably need to add a little bit more water. Right. I don't want to fail at this. I usually am really good at things. Well, not usually, but I try to be good at things. And then I guess we'll see how this goes. I guess the girl said to make it a little watery, but she said that you want it to, like, if you were to turn over your jar, you want it to be almost like the Dairy Queen blizzards. So you don't want it to fall out. I feel like this would fall out. Yeah, what do you think? I think that's a little too watery. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. All right, I think we've got the consistency we want. So let's see. So she said to flip it over for 2 to 3 seconds. If it holds, then you know you're good. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so this is what it looks like. Day 1. What I'm going to do now is, nice. Okay, so she said that you don't want to like cover it and like seal it. You want it to be able to breathe. So this thing comes with a nice little cloth thing. So put this on, and then this is a feeder thing. So it tells you on the side of the jar, it says when you fed it, and you line it up. And this is like where you're supposed to like keep track if it's rising or anything like that. And this is for the temperature. So nice. This we're gonna put in here, wrap it around, and put it right to where I should probably clean this a little bit better. But yeah, here we go. So we fed it Sunday at like, we'll say 6, just because it's almost 6. But this is our starter. So now we're gonna leave this on the counter, and we're gonna see if we can actually be successful at creating a sourdough starter. So this is day 1, like I said. We'll be back tomorrow to feed this baby and see if we can do it. All right, hello everyone. We're back for day 2 of sourdough journey. We have not selected a name yet. We don't know what his or her personality is. So my guess is that she's a she. This is a she. I know it. But we don't know what her personality is yet. And therefore we have not chosen a name. but we will figure that out. Anyways, yesterday around this time, we made the beginnings of our starter. So we took about 3 spoonfuls, rough spoonfuls of King Arthur organic unbleached flour, and then just some room temperature distilled water, mixed it up in the jar. Put it's loosely covered, it's not, you know, super tight on top, but this, and then we just let it sit overnight on the counter. I have received some intel from a few people who have active starters, and they've been giving me a few pointers and tips. And one of the tips that they gave me was to keep the starter, because it is kind of cold right now, in the oven. So leave the oven off, and obviously you don't want to bake it, but to put it in the oven and have it be in a nice warm environment, and then to use warm filtered water. That was the other thing. So I'm using distilled water, so I guess that counts as filtered, but we're going to continue to do this. I may end up warming it if I don't see it becoming active in the next few days, but we're going to start it. But I want you to see what it looks like. Let me get close and personal with you. There, in there, you can see I don't think it's active. I don't really know what we're looking for, if we're being honest. But there are some bubbles in there, so it looks like it may be doing something. And when you put it up to your ear, you can hear it. It's like like the foaming sound. That's what it sounds like. So we'll see. Anyways, let's feed it. Let's get a few spoonfuls of some flour. Eyeballing it, of course, because why measure? Closing this up. So we got that. We can probably start mixing it a little bit. Throw some water in there. And then mix away. I'll bring this in closer so that you guys can see. So this is what it looks like. Get all the walls. I hope you guys, I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not. I hope you guys can. Today's selection comes to you. And actually, I hope we can do, like, this will be a thing that we do with our sourdough. I will, thank you. This is today's album. We are listening to the best of Earth, Wind, and Fire, Volume 1. And we're gonna feed our sourdough with some good music and love and attention so that she can be nice and active and feed us for many years to come, hopefully. So here, that there. Let's keep stirring this. Again, the video that I watched, that I've been following to kind of gauge to see if my starter is active or not, is she says that you want your consistency to be like a blizzard. So the Dairy Queen blizzards, when you flip it over, they don't fall out. You want that to happen with your sourdough too. So I think that's good. Let's see. I'll bring this up to you guys so that you can see. So that's what it looks like right now. It's not like super flimsy and fluid. And then we're going to move our bar on here, and I'll again bring this closer so you guys can see. So the bar, this is the last fed on. So today's Monday and it is about 6 p.m. We're gonna go and see where the top of this is and push everything down so that we can kind of get a feel for where our sourdough is, so that if it rises, we can see. This is where we are. There we go. So this is day 2. We fed it Monday at like 6 p.m. And right now the jar is reading at about 72 degrees. So that's where we're gonna do that. Let's see. There we go. We're gonna put this back on it. And I think honestly, our room is pretty warm as it is. So we may not need to put it in the oven just because I feel like it's doing well so far. So I'm gonna leave this on the counter overnight and update you guys tomorrow, see what happens. I know I didn't show you guys yesterday, but the bread kit that we got in the mail, I'm going to show you that here now in a second so that you guys can kind of see what comes in the kit. And then of course I'll link that in the description of this video so that if you guys want to purchase it, you guys can absolutely do that. And yeah, so thank you guys for being here. Let's see what happens on day 3. This is the box of the accessories and products that we got as a sourdough starter kit kind of thing. So it comes with, this is a round rattan fermentation basket. So it has the thing on the inside, like the cloth, the actual basket. There is the oval one. So that's nice to have a loaf one, and for big loaf ones, we've got the bags. So there's 10 bags, so 10-piece bags. This is the silicone mat. Yeah, silicone dough mat. So this is for the kneading and stuff. To see what size it's gonna be. We have a brush. I guess it's for cleaning. We have a spatula. We have the dough knife cutter thing. Yeah, the dough cutting knife. Yeah, dough cutting knife. We have all of the tools to do all of the scoring. So there's the razor blades in there, and then of course, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's cool. And then we have the mixer. So this is the mixer, the flour mixing stick. It also came with this jar with this thing, the cover, the thermometer, all of that all came in the box. So that's what we got. Sourdough kit. I will link this kit down in the description of this video for you guys if you want to purchase it. This is day 3 of sourdough journey. And this is where we are. We last checked it about the same time yesterday, which was Monday. So I'm gonna bring this in so that you guys can see what it looks like. And I will say that we have activity going on in there. There's lots of bubbles. It smells, I mean, it just smells like flour, but it smells a little bit. But you can see as you like move things around that there are definitely bubbles in there. There's activity going on. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to feed it. So first up, of course, is to, I can't get over the smell of this thing. So we're going to get some flour. And again, same flour we've been using, eyeballing it because I don't believe in measuring, at least not right now. So that seems good. Just did like 2-3 tablespoons, or yeah, spoonfuls. And then we'll throw some water in there. Not too much, but this is room temp distilled water. Stir it up. I'll bring this close so that you guys can see. Stir it up. Okay, so we've now mixed it, and let us do the test. I didn't do this yesterday because I forgot, but the video, the lady said you flip it over and see if it is just like the Blizzard, sits for 2 to 3 seconds without falling out. If it does, then you're good. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. All right, we should be good. Oh wait, actually we're not good. There's still stuff at the bottom. We gotta mix it better. Ugh. Now we should be good. Got it all mixed up. And we are going to, I'll let you guys see what it looks like up close. So that's what we're working with today. And we are going to change the setting to Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we'll see, it's about here, that's around even. We're trying to make sure, we're trying to see when it doubles. So this is where we are, but close to this line for Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we will check it again tomorrow. It still, I think, reads 72 degrees. Yeah, 72 degrees inside the jar. So that's what we got. We're gonna put the cover back on. Put the cover back on and then leave it back on our counter, and we will check it again tomorrow. I did some more research on this today, and we should have an active starter within 7 to 10 days. And we're on good track so far. Like, it's actually, we see it rising, we see it's doing its thing, and it's not quite doubling just yet, but we're getting there. So we'll see what happens in day 4 tomorrow, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, we are back for day 4. So today it's not super bubbly or anything like that. And it didn't like rise like it did yesterday, which again, false rise is a thing. But I feel like because I didn't play music, it knew that I wasn't, that I messed up. So we'll try again today. But let's look to see what we're dealing with today. If you remember yesterday, we were basically here, so we really didn't rise at all. But you can see there's lots of bubbles in there. So bubbles coming in, and then if you look up at the top, you can see bubbles starting to kind of form, but still got some ways to go. So let's go ahead and mix this up. We're gonna throw in some flour. So we're gonna go with 1. We'll go with 2 for now. That's what I've been doing every day, is 2. Close that up. Throw in some water. Don't need too much of that. And then mix it up. And honestly, it doesn't smell that great. I know that's like a thing. They say that like day 3, 4, like it starts to get like a not the greatest smell. And here, I'll mix this up so that you guys can see. This is the consistency. I think I'm gonna probably need to throw in some more flour in there. But yeah, we've got something is happening. Don't know what exactly, but something's happening. I think we've got ourselves finally set up for the evening. Let me just push everything down on the sides so that we can kind of see where we are. Push everything down. All right, it's all pushed down. And now I'll show you guys. Obviously it passes the trick of 1, 2, 3, 4. We're good. Doesn't move, or it didn't like spill out or anything like that. Right now it looks like we are at about 200 milliliters, and we still have space in the glass for it to double in size, so we don't have to throw anything out yet. So let's put our top on. Let's put our line thing. So this is Wednesday at 6 p.m. and we're about 200 milliliters. Right now, the temperature inside on the glass is reading 74 degrees, so that's a good temp. And we shall see what happens tomorrow. That is our starter feeding for today. It was a little messy, but not every day is gonna be perfect. So hope you come back tomorrow so that you can see the progress of where we are with our sourdough. Love you guys, see ya. All right, we are back for day 5 of our sourdough journey. Yesterday, we fed it around the same time yesterday that it is today. and kind of had a little bit of a mishap not too long ago. I left to go tutor and came back, and the sourdough was in front of the heater, and thought it was over for me. But we're good. Still not sure what her temperament is, but let me bring this in closer for you guys to see. We had about 200 milliliters yesterday, and not much growth if we're being honest. But as you can see, there's definitely a lot of bubbles, and like I said, the mishap where we kind of have some like baked on stuff because of the heat. But right now it's reading about 76 degrees, and let's go ahead and feed it. All right, so as always, we're eyeball feeding this, and we're gonna take about two tablespoons, probably a little bit more than that. Again, we're looking to double. Giving this enough room for it to double. So right now we're at 200 milliliters. So if this was to double, we still have enough room in our jar. So we're just going to leave this as is. So we've got that. We're gonna throw a little bit of water in there, not too much, and then stir it up. And it doesn't have. No, it is a little bit more funky today. I will say that. It is a little bit more funky today. We do have a little bit more bubbles, like I was saying. I probably should have discarded, but we're good for now. We're probably going to need some more. It's not enough. Let's throw some more of this. And I'll show you what this looks like. So it's looking a lot better. It's definitely looking more active. And let's continue to stir this. I think this is good now. I'm gonna scrape it down off the spoon. All right, so I think this is good. This is where we're going to leave it for today. We got to double check our flip test. And if you guys are not sure what that is, basically flipping it over, giving it 2 to 3 seconds to see if it falls out or if it doesn't. So here we go, just like the blizzard. 1, 2, 3. Honestly, I think we may need a little bit more, just a little bit, because it was starting to run, making a mess. All right, let's see if this is gonna do the trick. I need some leverage. Make a lot of noise, it's fine. All right, I think this is much better. I needed that extra little bit, I think. All right, let's put that. Let's see, let's do another test. 1, 2, 3, good. All right, scrape down the sides a little bit better. All right, so now let's put the cover back on it, of course, loosely covering it, and then bring this to you. Just actually first not cover it yet, but this is what this is what we're working with. You can still see after our feeding, maybe nothing yet as far as, oh wait, we do have a little bubbleage over here, but it looks like we are close to about 250-ish. This is our line for today. So cover this, throw this on this ring, and today is Thursday at 6 p.m. And like I said, this is about 250. So hopefully we're looking for it to double in size. So if we are at 250 now, we should get to 500. That should be our doubling size, and that takes 12 to 14 hours, or 4 to 12 hours, excuse me. But 78% or 78 degrees is where we are. 6 p.m. Thursday. We're gonna put this in a more heated area just because I was having issues with it not holding. Temperature was going below 60, or not 60, but 70. So we're gonna put it closer to an oven. I don't have an oven that I can like just stick this in downstairs, or wood, but we're gonna keep going, see what happens. And actually, just in the little bit of time that we were talking, you can already start seeing bubbles starting to form through. So let's keep at it, see what happens next. So this is where we're at today. We last fed it yesterday around the same time. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm not seeing a whole lot of bubbling today. There was no rising, and it could have been that she was angry with me because it cooked for a little bit last night in front of the heater. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to discard some of this, meaning I am literally just going to take some of this out and throw it away. That is literally what discard is. You're just throwing some of it away so that you can feed it and hopefully, you know, get it to go. So I'm going to probably, we're at 250 milliliters. What I'll probably do is I will bring it down to probably 100. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I will come back to feed it with you. So here we go. Like I said, right now it's reading about 71 degrees. And it got up to about 80, and I did leave it in the oven overnight, and that seemed to help a little bit with the temperature regulation. Of course, right now we are having some pretty cold temps here in Georgia, so that's kind of why it's doing that. But this is what it looks like on the inside. And you can see that there are some bubbles in there, but like, not a lot. So like I said, I'm going to discard a little bit more than half of this, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we have now discarded our sourdough, and we are now down to 100 milliliters of sourdough starter. So now what we are going to do is, I have noticed that our starter has not risen as much as I want it to, and I'm sure it's because it's the temperature fluctuating, but also I think it's not warm enough, because it goes down to like 70 and it goes up to like 80, so it fluctuates too much. So what I'm going to do this time is I actually heated up my water a little bit, just so that it was a little bit more warm than room temperature, and I am going to use that today to see if that makes a difference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a few spoonfuls and see if that's going to help or change anything. So there, and then let's go with some water. And we're looking for thick pancake batter consistency. So let us stir this up. And I also noticed that I think that it's getting too much air flow from the top. I've been putting this cloth on it, and I think this is too much air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the actual oven tonight. I didn't do it for the whole night yesterday, and I noticed that the top kind of got like a coating on it, when something gets too much air on it. So I feel like that's what happened. This needs a little bit more flour. And just so that you guys can see what we're working with, this is what we have so far. It's a little too loose, as you can see, so we need to put in some more flour. We'll go with that. Let's see if that's enough. I think this is much better. I think I made a good decision here by discarding, and this is how much I discarded. So I'm going to throw this out. And you can see just from that little piece right there that was like the stuff that was exposed to air. So I'm thinking that there was too much airflow with the air cloth and out into the elements, and that's kind of why it did not did rise or anything like that. And plus, like I said, the temperature just keeps fluctuating. All right, so this is much better, I think. So now this is all mixed up. We have now about 150 milliliters. Let's double check to make sure that this is a good consistency, that it's not going to run out. So 1, 2, 3, and we're good. So this is going to be, like I said, thick pancake batter. I am going to throw this back on it, but I am going to also kind of loose on there. Actually, we may not put, because we're putting that in the oven, so we're good without it. But we fed it Friday at about 6 p.m. So this is about 150 is where we are. We will see where we look at tomorrow. And for those, this is what it looks like right now. And this seems to be feeding a lot better than it did yesterday. It is a lot hotter in the glass, I think. Yeah, we're about 77 and a half. So there we go. And we do have bubbles already forming, so that's good. That means that it's eating it up. And like I said, we will see tomorrow what this is going to look like. I'm going to throw this into the oven and let it sit in there overnight so that it has a little bit of a, hopefully, more stable temperature. So let's check back tomorrow and hopefully we have at least some type of rising in here. Okay, guys, we are back. It has almost been a week that we have started this. Before we get into it, I realized earlier today when I was like editing videos and kind of like watching them, that you really can't hear the music in the background because my microphone does such a good job of reducing noise in the background. So I guess I'm just showing you, hopefully you can hear this one today, but I guess I'm just showing you albums, which is fine, I guess, too. But today's album is Outkast, ATLiens. This is a good one, where we have some movement, some positive movement, so I feel like we needed to continue on with like the early 2000s rap. So, or hip hop. So Outkast it is. We kept our sourdough starter in the oven all night for the most part, in more of a stable environment. And guys, I am very proud. I am very proud. The thing that we did yesterday of discarding is something that I think we should continue to do as we get this thing started, because just look at this. Yesterday, if you recall, we were at 150 milliliters. Look at where we are today. We have almost doubled in 24 hours. We have almost doubled in 24 hours, which is huge. And if you look around, you can see all of that healthy bubbling going on. So what I am going to do today is I am going to discard and leave it and bring it down to like about 100 milliliters again of the actual starter, and then we're going to feed it. So let me go ahead and discard first, and then we'll feed. And what I noticed yesterday as I was, keeping an eye on it overnight was that the temperature, it stayed between the 70, it never got below 70, and it didn't get above 80. And when I noticed that this got low for a while, because it was in an oven that didn't have any lights or anything, I would turn it on for like 30 seconds to like heat up, and then I would turn it off, just so that it would get some heat in the actual environment, and I think that really helped too. So I'm going to discard, and then we'll be back to feed.
A few moments later.
As I'm getting the discard, I just wanted to show you, look at all of those healthy bubbles in the me so that you guys can see. Look at those healthy bubbles going on in there. I'm so excited. Okay. let me finish discarding. Okay, as you can see here, this is all of the discard that we took out of our starter. So this is all the stuff that we are going to throw out. I'm almost thinking that I'm going to take this, because it did so well the first time, and start a second starter for Cam's mom. So that we'll see if that's what I end up doing with that. But now we brought this down to about 100 milliliters so that you guys can see 100 milliliters of starter. And what we're gonna do is just like we did yesterday, I warmed up the water a little bit, so that is a little bit more than room temp because it is kind of cold in the house. So a little bit warmer than room temp. And then we are just going to feed it like normal. So yesterday we needed about two spoonfuls. I'm making a mess already, right? So 1, maybe 3, I think, for yesterday. So we'll do 3 again today. So we'll feed it, throw in some water, and we want a little bit thicker than pancake batter. So we'll start with that, and we'll stir it up. Okay, I think that'll be good for now. Let me just scrape down the sides, and then I'll show you what this is looking like for today. Okie dokie. So, let me just pat this down so that we can... Alright, so again, our test, flip it over. We are going to do this 2 to 3, or yeah, 3 to 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That thing's not going anywhere. We fed this, and as you can see, we're about the same place where we were yesterday. So remember, last night, it almost doubled. So it went from here to almost here. So now we're gonna hope and pray that it does the same thing again today. Right now, the glass is reading at about 75 degrees, which is nice. That's ideal temps there for us. And we're already seeing bubbles form. This is gonna be nice. I can already tell. Let me see what it smells like. I didn't smell it before, but let me smell what the starter smelled like. It doesn't smell anything crazy. It doesn't smell gross or anything like that. So I think we're good. We are going to put our cover back on this. We are going to put our ring. Today is Saturday. Let me get this closer to you guys. Saturday at basically 6 p.m. So Saturday at 6 p.m. And we're about 150, like I said. And we are going to see what happens. We'll see you guys again tomorrow, Sunday, for one whole week. One whole week of our starter, and you can already see that it's loving its food. It is starting to bubble. We are very, very excited. This is happening. It's happening. This girl in the video taught about it was taught about it. What is that? Press play. Let's do this thing. Make some sourdough. These are all going in the bloopers, by the way. The more ridiculous things I say, the more bloopers I have. So, you're welcome. Is this green? I don't even see it anymore. Okay.
I was only making more that fast, unless you really fucking.
Okay. You can hear it. Sit down. Stirring. What am I supposed to do with the crusties on the side? Today has been quite challenging. I'm just trying to get this to mix evenly. To continue. All right, we are back. We are not back. Okay, we are back for, what day is it today?